Hello students, welcome to our next video, hope that you will be fine. Today we have a very interesting topic. This will definitely increase your knowledge as well as it will also help you to apply the theoretical concepts in practical life. The topic under discussion today will be finding the exact mass of tons of cargo loaded on a ship. Shipping industry is very important as
over 95% of the global trade is done through the sea on the ships. These ships can be ultra-huge.
The size of ship and the amount of weight they can carry depends on the nature and architecture of the ship. An average 700-meter-long container ship can carry up to about 25,000 tons of cargo, which is equal to 250 million kilograms, or we can say 25 crore kilograms. Other than these, crude carrier ships are those ships that are used to transport crude or distilled oil from one place to the other. Pakistan is importing 140,097 barrels of oil per day and is exporting 4,896 barrels of oil per day. All of this is done on crude carrier ships.
Ultra-large crude carrier ships can carry up to 2 million barrels of oil, which equals 320,000 cubic meter or 318,000 metric tons of oil. The category that have the largest ships is cruise. Cruise vessels are used to take passengers from one place to the other. Titanic was also a cruise vessel. These vessels are huge and have about all the facilities. These vessels usually have the tendency to adjust a medium-sized city in them completely. The largest cruise ship measures 238 feet tall, 10 stories high, and spans 1,188 feet long. Now the question is, how do we weight this enormous amount of cargo loaded on these monster ships? It is very important for us to measure it in order to maintain the stability of the ship.
You would be thinking that it must take a large amount of time and effort in order to do so. The technology we use makes our work done in no time and about effortlessly.
Which technology do we use then?
It is a very simple answer.
We will use pen and a paper and calculate mass of cargo by mathematical formulas.
Do you know that we can calculate the mass of the ship with the help of the Archimedes principle?
What does Archimedes principle tells us? Well, Archimedes principle tells us that whenever an object is immersed in a liquid, then the mass of that object is equals to the mass of the liquid that is displaced by immersing that object in that liquid.
So, by this principle we can say that the ship will displace the water according to its own weight.
We use this principle to find the weight of the ship, which will help us in finding the weight of the cargo.
We find the volume of water displaced by ship before loading cargo by measuring scale given on ship. So, after we have calculated the volume of the water displaced by the ship, we can easily find the mass of that water. We know that mass of any object is equal to the product of density and the volume. So, we will find the mass of displaced water by this formula.
Here, we have already calculated the volume of a displaced water, and as far as the density is concerned, the density of seawater is 1.025 kg per meter cube.
This will give us the weight of ship without cargo loaded on the vessel.
After this we load the cargo on the ship, and then again the mass of the vessel is calculated by the same procedure that was discussed before.
Now, we know the mass of the ship before loading cargo as well as the mass of the ship after loading cargo. This data is enough for us to find the mass of cargo loaded.
Mass of the cargo loaded on the vessel is equal to the mass of the ship after loading cargo minus the mass of the ship before loading cargo.
That's how we find the mass of cargo. There are so many more applications of mathematics that are used by us in many professional calculations.